have another experiment. And we are still talking about confidence. And you remember that is learning to see yourself the way God sees you. So when we do that, we've already talked about in some of our past experiments that God thinks about you countless times a day. Remember? Remember, he also said that you were amazing and wonderful. You know what that means. You are special and unique, just like me. We all are. God made us that way. Isn't that so exciting to know that we can have full confidence in God? Let me read a verse to you from Philippians chapter 1, verse 6, and it says, I am sure that the one who began a good work in you will carry it on until it is completed. That will be on the day that Christ Jesus returns. So this verse is telling us that God is always going to be with you no matter what, and that he is going to help you to be able to do all the things that he wants you to be able to do for him. Oh, isn't it exciting that he thinks about you that much? He thinks you're amazing and wonderful, and bonus, he's going to help you do everything he wants you to do for him. So now let's get to our experiment. You'll see we have just a regular water bottle, and you might not see this, but I have a little push pin right here, and then of course I just have water. So now I want to show you. So this bottle, I'm going to say, is like us. It's completely full of water. And you can see that the water, of course, is staying inside the bottle. So that is like us when we have our full confidence in God. Now, but if we ever allow any of those little mean doubts to get into our mind and we start thinking, oh, God doesn't think we're that great, well, guess what happens? Look at that. Oh, do you see? Okay. I'm going to stop it. Look what is happening. Do you see the water coming out? It's like we are not focused. We are not thinking that God cares about us. When we do, no water comes out. But when we don't and we think, oh, no, we're not that special, can you see the water coming out? Now, let's get to the science. Why is that working? So, what you might not know is I took my little push pin, and you can do this at home with mom and dad's help. And you can come up about 1 inch from the bottom of your bottle. Now first, you want to fill your bottle with water all the way to the top and get the lid on nice and tight. And then you're going to poke holes in the bottom. One here, one here, one here, just about, doesn't have to be any far apart. And then you too can experiment with it at home. But make sure you have mom and dad's help with the push pin if you need it. So now, how did that happen? Let's talk about the science. Okay. So when the bottle is closed, absolutely no air pressure can come into the bottle. And that way it cannot push down on the water, and it cannot push it out. And the little tiny holes in the bottom, they're not big enough for air pressure to get in. But now, if you remember from one experiment that we did before, the molecules form together to make like a little thin barrier, a seal. If you remember that, it's called surface tension. And it kind of closes up the hole. It seals them up. But when I unscrew the lid, and all of that water starts coming out. You know why? Because all of the air pressure is now coming in to the bottle. It is pushing down on the water. And of course, gravity takes over, and the water just comes out and comes out and comes out. But I close it back up. The air pressure stops. Look at that. Isn't science so much fun? Now, I want you to remember that you can always be confident in God because he is always with you, and he is always going to help you to do anything he calls you to do. All right? Have a great day. Bye-bye.